I'm not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in UK test, part 384. Glossary part 20, while doing medial plane training, and if you participate in medial plane training, register your own risk. That's the end for glossary. Volunteer, I didn't want to go so fast. We were just by, we had just 5:50. That went fast. So, volunteer. Someone who works for free or who offers to do something without payment, see voluntary work. So, volunteer is someone who offers themselves to do something without payment. I don't want to generalize it that much in this book by saying volunteer work, volunteer. A volunteer can also get money. I can't imagine that there are not some places where people get money. Why should not anyone in this world ever come up with the idea, hey, let's make a mixed work between them? In a way, many works are volunteer, where people are signing up freely and then they're working and getting money. But there's certain, I don't think that the definition says it can't be payment, but it's maybe the usual way, or in this book, as we're talking here about it. But why should not, if someone signs up to be the volunteer, ever be the option to get money? Ever have the option to get money? More effort. The work people did in order to help the country in any way they could during wartime. Oh, that is what I mean. The work people did. So we're speaking just for the book. War effort can also exist in the present time. And there are many more definitions for war efforts. Now, this one which I'm meaning here, we're talking about the Second World War, and about the people of the United Kingdom. And they were doing war efforts. So the work people did in order to help the country in any way they could during wartime. Why should someone need an explanation for war effort? Okay, that was here. So with the German Air Force, the Nazi German Air Force was able to continue, beside the loss in the Battle of Britain in the air war, to do a great deal of damage to cities. For example, East End of London or Coventry. But despite the destruction, there was a strong national spirit of resistance in the UK. The phrase "the bliss spirit" is still used today to describe Britons putting together in the face of adversity. And there was war effort. Somewhere were also used war effort. So war effort, that is the work the people did during the Second World War in order to help the country in any way they could during wartime. Now we're having here all the dates together. And we have the next part, dates in the calendar. We're going to do it in the next part. So we are now done with anything new. If you're just here, we're just here for the glossary part 20, then you can go directly to the next part. We will do a little thing before we go on. Okay, the architects. What is happening? So, there are many things standing from medieval times. Let's begin as a presentation, the thing which we want to remember. And there are cathedrals and churches standing still from the medieval times. For example, the cathedrals of Lincoln, Salisbury, Durham, and Canterbury. And there's also some Norman architecture standing, for example, the White Tower of Tower of London in London. Then there are great country houses built during the 17th century. 17th? But no, the one which I'm talking about is Hardwick Hall. Okay, there are great country houses, for example, Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire. I don't think I wouldn't have known that at the end. In the 17th century, there were more built. For example, there was Indigo Jones. He built, I'm always thinking of Greenfields, Queen's House in Greenwich. And he also built Banqueting House in Whitehall in London. Then there was Robert Adams, he was Scottish, he was influential, and for example was he built for Bath, and in Bath is the Roy Crescent. And he also built either Dumfries or Dumfries House. And when there was Sir Christopher Wren, and he created an ornate style distinct from the European one. And for example, that he made the St. Paul's Cathedral in London. And when there was, okay, I don't know. Yes, when the Gothic style had a revival, the medieval Gothic style had a revival, and the St. Pancras Station and the Houses of Parliament are built in a revival of the Gothic style. And also the city towns of Manchester and Sheffield. And then there are architects who have architectural firms, for example, Sir Norman Foster, Lord Richard Rogers, and the Dame Zaha Hadid. And also the landscapes around great country houses had to be done, and there was, for example, Lancelot Capability Brown, who designed these landscapes with trees, parks, and lakes, bridges. And one of them didn't make up but it fit all together in the effort. And there was when working, for example, with Sir Edwin Lutyens together, who designed New Delhi to be the seat of the government of India, and also the Senate of Whitehall. And she, so the middle sentence has no end, and she, so we're talking about Gertrude Jack here, made beautiful gardens around, colorful gardens around country houses. For example, the architecture by Sir Edwin Lutyens, and there are garden showcase displays, for example, Chelsea Flower Show. There people can go and present what they have done beautiful in the background. Now to the medieval plank. Is it medieval plank? Yes, it's medieval plank. So we're starting, we bring one leg up and we're pointing the foot. If you participate, that is such honest. And bring the foot up and down, up and down. The other leg up, bring the foot up, down, up, down, up. We're having the legs standing wide apart and we're breathing in and going down. And out. Last strong breathe in. Out. Breathe in, close the legs. And out. So, we bring one leg up into a right angle. With a flexed foot, we have an even lined hips. We're taller than the leg, and we're pressing from the top against the knee, and we're having a little bend in the elbow. You can do it quite comfortable. Just standing like that is an exercise. You can do it with middle pressure, a bit more, a lot of pressure, or you can take it quite easy. Even lined hips, taller the back, little bend in the elbow, and a little longer. And over to the other leg. The other leg up, right angle with the leg, flex foot, even lined hips, taller the back, and we're pressing from the top against the knee with a little bend in the elbow. Even lined hips, taller the back, little bend in the elbow, a little longer. And the next exercise, one leg up, right angle with the leg, flex foot, even lined hips, taller the back, and now we're pressing from the inside. So even lined hips, taller the back, a little bend in the elbow. And over to the other leg. Same setup, and we're pressing from the inside. Even lined hips, taller the back, a little bend in the elbow. And the next exercise, one leg again up. And now the knee presses up to the side. Even line dips, turn off the back, and the knee presses up to the side. A few more. Arm with the upper leg, the leg up, right angle of the leg, flex foot, even line dips, turn off the back, and the knee presses up to the side. Even line dips, turn off the back, and the knee presses up to the side. And the last exercise is a heavy swing though. We bring one leg up, right angle of the leg, flex foot, even line dips, turn off the back. Now we're pressing from the outside. Little bend in the elbow, and we're opening slowly. And we're closing again slowly. And the second time. And the third time, final time. And now to the other side. Leg up, right angle of the leg, flex foot, even line dips, turn off the back. We're pressing on the outside with a little bend in the elbow. And we're opening slowly. And we're closing in slowly. And we're opening again slowly. And we're closing. It was the second time. So, the third and final time. And the closing exercise, we're breathing in. Again in. Out. Again in. Out. Now breathe in, close the legs. And out. Now we get a little time to look for the civil chords. Okay, it is the high chord for serious civil cases, or the court of season, and the county court or sheriff court for civil disputes, when there exists a small claim procedure, 10,000, or Northern Ireland Fireland. I want to say 5,000, but I'm thinking about it. Why I said land? Northern Ireland or Scotland 5,000. Northern Ireland 5,000. What was it now? Scotland 5,000 and Northern Ireland 3,000. Okay, High Court. It is the High Court of a court of season. High Court does it. If it's not so severe, the county court or the sheriff court. High Court. So civil cases, it is the High Court in Northern Ireland, the court of season. And if it's smaller disputes, then it is. And we're saying that large compensational claims are high courts. Family matters, injury claims, breach of contract and divorce are civil disputes. They are county courts or sheriff courts. And Scotland. There's just Northern Ireland, Scotland. And then there is the small claims procedure, which can be done also online. To settle smaller claims disputes over money. The High Court does it, or the Court of Season, or the County Court or the Sheriff Court in Scotland, and the small claims procedure. I thank you very much, and until next time.